Morning. So this is the second week of my St Neots Half training plan. Not been the greatest of weeks, if I'm honest. However, if you look at it, basically I didn't train at the start of the week. Work was just too busy, and so basically I've missed a gym session and a run session. So it's only one session from the week, so it doesn't sound too bad. But it's Saturday morning and this is my second run of the week, which doesn't sound great, but there is another shorter run planned for tomorrow, so I should get sort of 3/4 of my runs in and 2 out of 3 gym sessions, so it's not terrible. This morning it's going to be a 90-minute run, I think, using Stryd again, and going to be taking in Letchworth parkrun again. I will try and vary these runs up at some point, but it's always quite handy having Letchworth parkrun on your doorstep, and it really allows you to kind of split up the run on a Saturday morning. So the plan's to do about 40-50 minutes before Letchworth parkrun. I'm using the power meter, so I think I'll be around Letchworth parkrun in about 36 minutes again this week, and that's going to take me pretty close to the hour and a half that I need to run. Maybe a little cool down run back home, depending on what the power meter's saying. The other run that I've done earlier on this week was pretty much a half marathon pace run. It was a 50-minute run and there were 2 segments of 11 minutes in there, and the power meter was 229 to 248 or something similar to that, and basically it's recommending that I run the half marathon at 232 at the moment. So really see that as half marathon pacing. Felt okay, felt comfortable, and interestingly those 2 segments sort of came out at 10-minute miling. So the prediction of 2 hours and 13 minutes based on that experience seems about reasonable from Stryd at the moment, but let's see how that changes over the next 10 weeks or so if I manage to stick to the training plan. But anyway, time to do a little run towards Letchworth parkrun. And after that, a bit of a false start, a bit of a schoolboy error. I've actually not put my power meter onto my trainer. So heading back home, go and get that power meter on, and then we'll go again.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right.
So morning tradition, I'm a little bit late again. It's so foggy this morning, I can't actually see. I can see that they're not at the welcome briefing, so I'm just hoping they're making their way down to the start line. We'll get there in a minute. Super foggy here at parkrun today. So you probably can't quite see in the distance, but thankfully they're still walking down. I think the last of the few stragglers walking down are just in front of me. I'm going to miss the start by about 30 seconds, I reckon. They'll probably just set off as I get there. Morning, right. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Well done.
Ta. So second long run of St Neots training done. It was a 92-minute run in the end, and I covered 7.9 miles, and the average pace was 11:40. Pretty much the same run as last week, so a little bit of a warm-up, 7-minute warm-up, an hour at gentle pace, I guess, sort of a wattage of maxing out at 207, and then there were 5 sort of, I guess they're probably strides. I think last week I referred to them as intervals, but they last for a minute, and they're sort of just at about critical power, which is 253 for me. 1 minute, 2-minute recovery, and there's 5 of them. And unlike last week, I was actually able to do them. Admittedly, it was tough work from number 4, but got 4 and 5 done, and then there's a 7-minute cool down on the end, and again managed to get that done today. I think the temperature's made a massive difference today here in Letchworth. It's really foggy and nothing like the crazy temperatures and sun of last week, so I think a lot of fitness, to be fair, and a lot to do with the heat from last week. This week felt much more straightforward. The watch beeps whenever you go out sort of wattage range. That happened less and less today. I just feel like I'm starting to get to grips with it. It really does remind me of heart rate training. When you first start heart rate training, the first few runs are a bit of a nightmare, because it's so hard to understand what your heart rate's doing, and it jumps up and it jumps down, and you come across the smallest little climb and it jumps up. Exactly the same with the Stryd meter. So let's see where we go. So tomorrow it's a 30-minute really easy gentle recovery run, hoping to get to the gym this evening. So I noticed the video ended a little bit abruptly there. Been thinking about how I can measure the progress of this Stryd training plan without needing to actually run a half marathon. I haven't run one recently, so I've got no real benchmark to compare against and show numbers comparing. I haven't done that much training this year, if I'm honest. So 2 things that I've thought of that I can look at, and I'll put the numbers on the screen somewhere. First one is Strava Fitness. I'm a premium Strava subscriber, and it gives you a Strava fitness score, and you can just sort of track it. The start of this program, the Strava fitness score was 34 for me, and at the end of that second long run it's awarded me 43, so that's gone up 9 points already. Probably quite an arbitrary kind of number, but it'll be interesting to track that and see where it gets to, and see if it peaks around the half marathon sort of timeline. And then the only other metric I can think of to use, and it's possibly not the best, but it'd be if the long runs are going to be the same kind of thing that they've been for the last couple of weeks, just getting slightly longer in length, could measure the heart rate average on those runs. So the first long run heart rate average was 165. I'll caveat that with it was a very hot day, etc. But yesterday it was 163. A much cooler day, so that's probably the biggest driver of the change. But let's keep an eye on those 2 metrics as we go through this plan. Already look forward to the training plan for next week. I've got a couple of sessions, a long run that looks very similar to the other long runs, and then a short recovery run as well. Okay, post the next video next week.